It started with a whisper, soft, barely audible, but relentless. In the dead of night, beneath the ancient stone church that had stood for centuries, Sister Agnes heard a voice calling her name. The village knew the church as a place of sanctuary, but what if sanctuary was just a mask for something far darker? Sister Agnes was a devout woman, dedicated to her faith and her vows. She had always believed evil could be kept at bay with prayer and light. But that night, the shadows inside the church seemed to pulse with a life of their own. The air was thick, suffocating, as she descended the narrow, spiraling staircase leading to the crypt below. The walls, lined with faded frescoes of saints and angels, now looked twisted, their eyes following her like silent sentinels. As she reached the bottom, the flickering candles revealed a figure, an altar boy who had vanished weeks ago. His eyes were pitch black, devoid of any humanity. "Sister, help me," he whispered, voice a rasp, the sound crawling under her skin. But as she stepped closer, his face contorted into a sinister grin, and the voice shifted to a guttural growl. The crypt's ancient walls began to bleed crimson, pooling at her feet. Panic surged as she realized the church's foundation was not built on holy ground, but over a sacrilegious pit, a prison for a demon long forgotten. The demon's voice echoed in her mind, offering salvation in exchange for a single sin. Sister Agnes faced a harrowing choice: betray everything she believed in to save the innocent trapped within, or let darkness consume them all. As dawn broke, the villagers found the church doors sealed shut from the inside. No one ever saw Sister Agnes again, but sometimes, when the wind howls through the deserted village, a chilling hymn drifts from the sealed crypt, reminding all that some sanctuaries hide horrors beyond faith and reason. Days before the incident, Sister Agnes had noticed subtle changes in the church. The once comforting scent of incense was replaced by a stale metallic odor that clung to the air. The statues of saints seemed to shift imperceptibly when no one was watching, their stone eyes reflecting a cold, malevolent glare. Whispers echoed faintly through the halls, too low to discern but persistent enough to unsettle even the most steadfast. The villagers had begun to avoid the church after sunset, whispering tales of strange lights and mournful cries emanating from within. The local priest dismissed these stories as superstition, but Sister Agnes felt a growing unease gnawing at her soul. She spent hours in prayer, seeking guidance and protection, yet the darkness only deepened. On the night she descended into the crypt, the moon was hidden behind thick clouds, plunging the world into a velvet blackness. The heavy wooden doors creaked ominously as she pushed them open, the sound swallowed by the oppressive silence. Her lantern cast flickering shadows that danced along the ancient stone walls, revealing the faded frescoes that had once inspired hope, but now seemed to mock her with their distorted visages. The spiraling staircase felt endless, each step echoing like a heartbeat in the cavernous space. As she reached the bottom, a sudden chill seized her, and the air grew dense with a palpable malevolence. The altar boy stood motionless, eyes black voids that seemed to swallow the light. His plea for help twisted into a sinister grin that stretched unnaturally across his face, revealing teeth sharpened like daggers. The walls began to weep blood, the crimson pooling and spreading like a living thing. Fear threatened to paralyze her, but Sister Agnes steeled herself, gripping her rosary tightly. The demon's voice slithered into her mind, promising freedom and salvation if she would only sin once. The choice was agonizing: forsake her sacred vows or condemn the souls trapped below to eternal torment. Memories flooded her mind. The faces of the villagers, the laughter of children, the warmth of the sun on her skin during quiet afternoons in the garden. She thought of the altar boy's innocent smile before his disappearance, the hope that had once filled the church's hallowed halls. With trembling hands, she pressed the rosary to her lips and whispered a prayer, calling upon the light to banish the darkness. The demon's laughter echoed, a sound like shattered glass, as the walls convulsed and the blood receded. The altar boy's form dissolved into shadows, leaving behind a lingering chill. Sister Agnes felt her strength ebbing, the weight of the darkness pressing down upon her. But she did not relent. As dawn broke, the villagers gathered outside the church, drawn by a strange compulsion. The heavy doors remained sealed, their surface scorched and cracked. No response came to their frantic knocking or prayers. The air was thick with an unspoken dread. Days passed, and the church remained silent, an unyielding monolith of secrets. The village slowly emptied as fear took root, families abandoning their homes to escape the shadow that had fallen. Yet, on certain nights, when the wind whispered through the empty streets, a haunting hymn would rise from the sealed crypt, a melody both beautiful and terrifying. A reminder that some sanctuaries are veils for ancient horrors. Scholars who later studied the village ruins uncovered cryptic texts, hinting at a pact made centuries ago, binding the demon beneath the church in exchange for prosperity above. Sister Agnes became a legend, a martyr who confronted the darkness and vanished into the abyss to protect the innocent. The tale serves as a warning. Faith may be a beacon in the night, but even the brightest light can cast the darkest shadow. And in places where sanctity is presumed, beware what lies beneath, waiting for the moment to awaken once more.